It's good though. I enjoy it.
I don't know if I didn't read the what's that called? Why can't I think of this word?
I don't know.
The credits. Maybe I didn't read the credits like thoroughly enough. I had no idea that Jason Segel was even in it.
When you're like
it doesn't
7,
sound like him.
No, it really doesn't. When you're like 7, credits aren't a thing. You know, the only reason people stay through the credits now is to like see the after credit scene at the end of a Marvel movie.
Yeah, when you're a kid,
you want to get the hell out of
there. No, well, when you're a kid, you know, you love the Minions, but then you grow up and realize Gru makes more sense.
Yeah. You like sympathize with him more. You
sympathize with the Gru.
Yeah.
And you want to steal the moon.
Listen, man. I would love to steal the... Imagine you came over like, today we're going to film an episode.
Yeah.
And the moon's here.
And
like the moon is just shrunken down and in my house.
Yeah. Have you been like plotting it for months or just there? So I would know, right? You would tell me if you were planning to steal the moon. I'd be on that expedition.
You're right, I would tell you.
But it would be crazy to walk in here and just, there's the moon.
There's the moon.
I'd be like, that's not the moon.
Yeah.
And then I'd go outside and look at the sky and be like, oh shit, that is the moon.
That is the fucking moon.
I'm gonna put it back.
No.
Okay. We'll just keep it.
Yeah.
What is his plan? Why does he want the moon?
Because he's like a criminal and he's like, these younger criminals are like being better than me. Like
so isn't his thing like he steals stuff?
Yeah.
That's his whole thing.
Like, I think...
But he doesn't sell them, he just like keeps
No,
them.
He works for like a group of criminals. And he
like... The League of
Evil. Sure, yeah. Sure. And he just, you know, tries to prove that he's the best criminal.
Got it, okay.
But Vector is like the new young hot, like...
That's right. Yeah. Wait, so they paid him to steal stuff?
I guess so.
Who's putting like the hits out to get this stuff stolen?
There's like a big guy.
They just go, they like pitch what they're gonna steal.
Yeah, there's a big guy played by John Goodman. You know John Goodman?
Is it actually
so? Yeah.
No, it is
yes,
not.
It is.
They did not get John Goodman for Despicable Me.
They got Jason Segel, and I was gonna say Jerry Seinfeld.
Jason Segel's a B-list actor, bro.
Steve Carell.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's John Goodman.
I think Steve Carell like wrote. Didn't he like have a big part in the production too?
He probably did. I don't know. But, yeah, Despicable Me... I never watched the sequels. Because I grew up.
I did see them, but I did not like them.
Yeah. I think I might have watched some of the second one, but I didn't care for it.
That's the one where the minions all turn purple, and you're like, okay, who cares?
Yeah, no, then I did not watch that.
Yeah.
That sounds stupid.
It is pretty
Why did they turn purple? Like Ultimate Iron Man?
There's like blue? A serum that... Yeah.
Interesting.
Jason Segel. Will Arnett.
Will
is
Arnett.
In it too.
Who's he play?
Jack McBrayer. He's Mr. Perkins. I don't know who that is.
Never mind. That's the guy who I thought John Goodman was.
Miranda Cosgrove.
Never mind. Yeah.
Oh, that's who it is. Oh, Ken Jeong is in it.
Yeah. I love him. He is so funny. Oh yeah, he's in Community.
Interesting. He is. Yeah, he's a big part in Community. So this is the Off the Shelf podcast where we talk about the Minions for an excessive amount of time.
More than you could probably stomach.
More than anyone would ever want to hear about the Minions.
Everyone's probably clicked off.
It's been like,
now.
What, 12 years? How long is...
I don't know.
It's been so long.
I have no idea.
My name is Josh.
I'm Vinny.
What are we actually talking about?
What we're actually talking about is Robin Year One.
Okay.
Now, I have a collection here, which is Batgirl and Robin Year One. They're two different stories. We're not going to talk about Batgirl. Nothing against Batgirl. I just didn't read that one yet. I plan to read it, but
sure.
So
is this like Batman Year One then?
Kind of. He's
got like a journal and he's a detective.
There is like monologue, like a journal, but it's not of Robin.
Oh, okay.
It's actually from Alfred.
Oh, okay.
So
Alfred's still alive.
Well, I mean, it's Year One. It's Year One, and this is the first
Okay.
Robin. So
Grayson?
Dick Grayson, yeah. So tell me every single thing that you could possibly know about Richard John Grayson, I think
That's his middle name?
Richard John Grayson, I think so.
So his name is Dick Johnson Grayson?
Dick John Grayson.
I know a fair bit. We talked about Batman a lot, so he's trickled in there.
Yeah.
But he's the first Robin. His parents were acrobats.
Yes.
And they died. Sometimes they get shot. Sometimes they fall. Depending
Usually
on who
they
you
fall.
ask.
Depending if it's Frank Miller or the same man.
And then Batman kind of adopts him, but not really. And then maybe he makes him eat rats. Maybe he doesn't. It
Usually
really depends.
Usually Bruce Wayne is a nice guy.
Yeah, he's his sidekick. He's the one that the kids relate to.
Exactly. And he's also like the first sidekick in comics.
Ever?
Like ever.
Huh.
Because Batman first came out in 1939 in Detective Comics.
Mm-hmm.
But then he got his own solo run called Batman in like 41. And in that issue, Robin was there. So, and you know, let's sidetrack from the book for a second and talk about Robin in general.
Sure.
Because I think people say, especially from the Batman and Robin movie, people always say that Robin's stupid, or that he's too like cheesy, or whatever. He doesn't mix well with the Batman character, who's dark and everything.
Yeah.
I completely disagree. I think Robin is an essential part of Batman history, because there has been more years with Robin in Batman's career than without. You know, so like Batman came out in 39, and then in 41, boom, Robin.
Well, I mean, you think Batman, and by association, you think
of Robin.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're like very
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. So Robin Year One is written by Chuck Dixon and Scott Beatty.
Okay.
I've never read anything by Scott Beatty, but I know Chuck Dixon because he's written a lot of Batman stuff. He wrote a lot of like 90s Batman stuff.
Good Batman?
Oh yeah. Chuck Dixon knows what he's doing.
Classic Batman.
Yeah, he wrote the third Robin solo series.
Okay.
And this book is drawn by Marcos Martin and Javier Pulido. I probably said that wrong, but the art's good.
What do you know? Anything else that they've done, or
Marcos Martin? I think he drew some Daredevil by Mark Waid.
Okay.
I like it. It's a very it's very simple.
Yeah.
You know, very like light, fun art, but
looks very like classic.
It is very classic. Yeah. So Robin Year One begins with this mobster named Mr. Mignette, who is in jail, and seemingly he's been put there by Robin, and he's like yelling at his lawyer. Or he's been put there by Batman and Robin, and he's yelling at his lawyer saying, like, the Batman has a new sidekick. So you don't see, never in this book do you see Dick Grayson's family die. You don't see him first put on the costume. The book starts, and he's been Robin for, like, a little while.
Okay.
I don't think they really say how long.
Is that just because people know?
People know.
Yeah.
He's been around since the 40s, and this book came out late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know the exact time it came out. I'd say the 2000s. So by 2000, people know who Robin is. So Mr. Mignette is complaining that Batman has a new sidekick and that he wants something done about it. Meanwhile...
back at the farm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in a limousine, the lawyer guy goes into the limo and he meets with Mr. Mignette's real boss, who is Two-Face. So the main main villain of this book is Two-Face.
Is Two-Face in this like a mob guy or like what's his?
He's like, tell me everything you know about Two-Face.
I know that he's a guy who got his face burnt. Maybe.
Yeah.
Is if the Dark Knight is accurate.
Sure.
He's like a senator or a governor or something, or he wanted to
be.
An attorney. An attorney? Okay.
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
What's his name?
Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent, yes. And he gets his face burnt into a skeleton. And he flips a coin to decide whether people will live or die, or...
Sure. I mean, so in the comics...
As someone who's not the best at making, like, decisions... Yeah. I should just carry around a coin.
You should.
And just flip it for
everything. Could, like, melt half your face.
Yeah.
If you want.
Do you think that Two-Face knows that every time he flips that coin, he creates an alternate dimension where the adverse happens?
No.
You don't think he knows?
Definitely not. But maybe.
Maybe.
I'd like to see like an Elseworlds Two-Face
like
book.
Parallel worlds.
Where they just show like the story that happened and then the other...
Batman's like, you gotta stop flipping that coin.
Yeah, he's created like other timelines. So Two-Face was Harvey Dent attorney. Yeah, he was a really good lawyer who was he wasn't corrupt. He wanted to actually help the city. And he was like friends with Bruce Wayne and Gordon. He was like typically a good guy who like had a wife and...
In The Dark Knight, he seems like he doesn't like Bruce Wayne.
No.
Does he?
I mean, they're chummy. Okay. They're not like BFFs, but they're chummy.
Yeah. They're not gonna like fight.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna have like a fist fight.
Yeah.
But Gordon and Harvey Dent are like buddies.
Okay.
Because Gordon's commissioner and he's a lawyer, so they get along. Harvey was trying to take down Salvador Maroni, who they mention in the new Batman movie. He's like in the very beginning. And Sal Maroni. Good old Sal Maroni.
Salmon-roni? Sounds like macaroni with salmon.
Yeah, Salmonella Maroni.
Uncooked chicken and macaroni.
He gets taken to court, and Harvey is like, doing his lawyer spiel. And then Maroni, I guess they didn't check his person, his like, they didn't pat him down to see if he had any weapons. Turns out he had a little bit of acid in his pocket.
Of course he did.
And he just like, throws it at Harvey's face and it melts him.
Everyone in the Batman universe has acid.
Oh yeah.
All times.
Acid and chemicals.
Yeah.
Gotham's main export. So then we finally see in this book, Batman and Robin, you fight some, people with guns. As you do.
Sure.
And you meet Robin, and he is like 12 years old.
Okay.
Which is the age.
That's his actual age.
That is like his actual age, what he usually starts out as. And, the burglars or whatever, they don't take Robin seriously because he's a child. Mm-hmm. But then he's doing all this acrobat, all these...
Yeah, he's like punching him in the throat.
This Frank Miller's horrifying universe. This Robin is delightful and he won't murder you.
He looks like he's got like chainmail.
Oh, his Speedo?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like scaly. Huh. I was actually wondering that the other day, if it's chainmail or just scale. I imagine like maybe it's to cover his groin.
Yeah, maybe it's like hardened.
I guess.
Yeah.
The Robin costume, I actually really like the Robin costume, even though it shows his bare legs, which is really weird, but to me it's like classic. I look at it and I'm like, there's something like classically cool about it.
His shoes are kind of weird.
Yeah, they are like pixie boots.
Yeah.
It is like Peter Pan.
Yeah.
It is odd.
Is that the point? He's supposed to be like young forever?
I guess, yeah. I mean, in the way Batman interchanges the Robins, everyone sure seems it's the same. Everyone sure thinks it's the same kid. So Batman and Robin, tie up the criminals.
Like, what's his age limit when he gets a new Robin? He's like, oh, well, you're 16, you gotta...
I mean, I imagine he'd be like, you're 18, you're an adult, get out of here.
You're 18, go to the dungeon.
Go to the rat dungeon. No, I mean...
That's how Frank Miller would do it.
Yeah, I mean, so this is, like, his first Robin. So his plan is, I adopted this boy, he finds out I'm Robin, or he finds out I'm Batman, I'm going to make him my sidekick, and whenever he decides to grow up, well, he will naturally grow up.
Sure.
But when he decides to move out, I'll just let him go. And either Dick Grayson does grow up and decides to become Nightwing. Well, that's usually what he does. He does always become Nightwing. Mm-hmm. Or Bruce, fires him because of something that happens.
Like, what? Like sexual misconduct or something?
No.
He's, like, talking to Alfred.
He's like, hey, Alfie. Alfred's like, Master Grayson,
Master Grayson, please don't call me Alfie anymore.
He calls him Alfie in this book.
Does he?
Yeah. Does
Alfred like him?
Alfred really does like him.
I feel like that's consistent through.
Yeah. And so the monologue or the journal entries of this book are from Alfred's perspective.
Okay.
And Alfred's like... So
he's like watching him grow.
Yeah, he's watching him grow, but he's more like he's worried. Mm-hmm. He's like, is this really good for this 12-year-old boy? He watched his family die, and I understand why Batman took him in. And it's almost like no one was there for Bruce when his family died. Mm-hmm. I mean, except for Alfred, but Alfred didn't know what to do. He was the butler. And eventually would grow to be that father figure Bruce needed. But Bruce never got a chance to, like, mourn his parents' death. So Bruce wanted to be there for Dick so he could, grow up and not become a psychopath like Batman has.
Yeah. It's like when Batman sees a kid's parents get murdered.
Yeah.
He's like, that kid has a chance to become a
serial killer
that's going to try to kill me in the future.
Exactly.
So I might as well kidnap them.
No.
Them good.
He's like, it's like that kid. He could become a serial killer.
Yeah.
Or go crazy.
But he's going to lead him down the right path.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing with like Batman is, he's going to train Dick Grayson so one day he's better than Batman ever was. To be like the best superhero.
So just like, this might be getting ahead of myself just a little bit, but is he like proud of Dick for becoming Nightwing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually. So to get into Nightwing a little bit, we will talk about Nightwing Year 1 eventually.
Okay.
But not now. And I never read Nightwing Year 1, so maybe this is from that book. But Nightwing, or Dick grows up and he's with the Teen Titans, and he leaves Batman. And he decides to become Nightwing, but he doesn't know what name to choose. And he ends up talking to Superman.
You told me.
I told you about this.
Yeah.
And on Krypton, there was like old urban legends of Nightwing and Flamebird, who were like old Kryptonian like superheroes or whatever. So at first there is some like kind of like bad blood between Dick and Bruce. But eventually Dick will grow to like, love Bruce like a father.
Yeah.
And Bruce never hated Dick. He never, resented him for leaving or anything. Even if he does fire him, maybe he did it for a good reason.
Sure. He's like, he knows that he's right.
Exactly.
Or something, yeah.
So while I was reading this, you're reading Alfred's, like, his journal entries, and then Alfred goes up to Dick, and he's like, Master Richard or Master Grayson.
Is that what he calls him?
He calls him Master Richard or Master Grayson. I don't know. But he's like, Dick, are you happy? Like, are you happy with this life? Because you don't need to be Robin. You could be a normal teenage boy. You should be a normal teenage boy. You should like be interested in girls, which he is. You should hang out with your friends and not punch people in the head at night. You should have a normal life.
Yeah.
Is this really what you want? And Dick says, yeah. He's like, this is what I want. So then eventually.
Which, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
You're a 12-year-old boy.
This is all you want.
Yeah. That's the dream.
Exactly.
I mean, minus the parents dying. Maybe.
Well, that's always
yeah.
You never want that.
Yeah.
So Dick goes to school. The next day.
Ugly.
Yeah, with the missing tooth.
Yeah, who's that?
That's just a kid in school.
So he's going to school.
Yeah, so Dick goes to
like Gotham High School or something.
He's actually in middle school.
Oh, middle
because he is 12.
Yeah. Okay.
So Dick goes to middle school, and he's like he's the new kid in school. So the thing with Dick is he's not born from Gotham. He wasn't born in Gotham. He was in the circus and they traveled around.
Yeah.
I don't remember where he was born. It might have been like Chicago, maybe. I don't know, but so he's not used to the Gotham schools.
What's the difference?
Fair enough. So Dick is like, this is.
That's why he feels so at home at Gotham.
I guess so, yeah.
He's like, there's no giant metal bean, but it'll do.
Yeah. So Dick is like brand new in the school.
Yeah.
This might be his first week or so, and he's already got some girls that are interested in him because Dick Grayson is a handsome lad.
Sure. He's got those smooth legs.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the smooth legs and the swoopy hair.
Yeah.
So, and there's this girl Jenny, who definitely likes Dick. Who definitely likes Robin.
Yeah.
And Robin has an attraction to her as well.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there is. This is the Mad Hatter.
Okay.
So meanwhile, there have been a bunch of kidnappings of little girls. Like little girls and just girls in general.
Sure.
And you see Mad Hatter in like a warehouse with all these like brainwashed blonde girls that he's calling Alice and serving them tea. And you're like, oh god, what is he doing? This is just Mad Hatter's shtick, you know? Mad Hatter is Jervis Tetch, who is obsessed with, like, Alice in Wonderland and brainwashing girls because they won't love him unless he's brainwashing them.
So that's his whole thing, is like he just loves Alice in Wonderland?
Well, he's more like crazy and thinks he is the Mad Hatter.
So, okay.
Yeah. Like,
so he believes that he is in the story?
Yes, and he's looking for his Alice.
Got it, okay.
Kind of. So it depends on what the writer wants.
But he knows that there's not 12 Alices in that story.
No,
right?
But the more the merrier.
Okay.
So you get to meet somebody.
That's like, such a specific crime.
I know. It is very specific. The thing with Batman villains, and I love it, they're all so, like, they all have a gimmick.
Yeah.
And they all stick to it. You know? Like, Mad Hatter's like, I will only kidnap Alice's. Or, like, if they're not named Alice, he will just call them Alice.
Sure.
And then dye their hair blonde if it's not already.
But, like, Joker doesn't have a shtick.
Besides he's a clown.
Like a goofy fella.
That's his shtick. He tried to poison Gotham's reservoir.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So,
with, like, what?
Like laughing stuff.
And it makes people laugh?
Yeah.
How is that such a crime?
Well, it, like, also kills them, I guess.
See, that, okay,
like, they laugh to death or something.
I guess that's not the worst way to go.
Yeah. So, we'll cut. We haven't, like, done a Joker story. Have we? Have we done, like, just a Joker story yet?
We've done a lot of Batman.
A lot of Batman, but not just Joker.
He's been in the Batman, but not...
Yes.
Yeah.
One day we'll do it. Or do a Joker story. Probably the Man Who Laughs, where he poisons Gotham's reservoir.
Okay.
But, anyway.
If I was can I just derail this completely for 1 second?
Ahead, man.
I know we're talking about Robin, but...
Yeah.
If you were a Gotham villain, what would your shtick be?
Probably like garlic or beans.
Garlic or beans? Yeah. What would you do? You'd poison all the beans in Gotham?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of people that eat beans and garlic.
Okay. Now, I don't know if this one's been done before.
Okay, I'll tell you.
But I'd be like Mr. Frog or something.
Mr. Frog?
Yeah.
There is a guy, Toad, or Mr. Toad.
The Toad?
Not the Toad. There is a Marvel character, the Toad.
Okay. So does he ever try to turn all of Gotham into frogs?
No.
Because that's what I want. I want to see Batman as a little frog.
Or maybe one day, man.
Okay. Or maybe like...
Let's break into the industry. Not like break in, but like start writing for DC Comics so you can write frog.
I'd want to be like a villain that's just a minor inconvenience to people.
Like the Condiment King.
Like the Condiment King.
Yeah, he's good.
Be like Spit Rain or something. Where it's like, this rain smells bad, but like it's not that big of a deal.
Oh man.
Like nobody's getting hurt, but
yeah,
it's definitely not great.
It is inconvenient.
It is. So anyway,
so Robin year one.
Yes.
You meet Dick Grayson. He has a bunch of friends. You meet like all his friends, and they're like shooting hoops. You know, doing like cool young.
Does he ever get bullied?
No, he's cool.
Yeah, okay.
You know, everyone likes him.
Does he bully other kids?
No, he's cool.
Because he's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Got it.
I really like...
He's like, take the ball, Flash.
Yeah. And then shatters the basketball thing. I really like Alfred and Robin's, like, interactions in this book. Because Alfred's really like, I want the best for you, Robin.
Yeah.
And I don't know if being Robin's the best for you. Like, you could die. Mm-hmm. You know? Meanwhile, that girl, Jenny, who I was talking about before, who likes... Robin.
Yeah. She's blonde, isn't she?
No, she has black hair, but she's walking with a blonde friend who is wearing a Superman shirt.
Nice.
And they were just walking down the street talking about Dick Grayson, and her friend's like, "Oh, you totally like him," and Jenny's like, "Oh no, I don't like Dick. I don't like Dick Grayson."
Yeah.
And then they stumble upon clearly the Mad Hatter, who is incognito, and he's selling like. He brainwashes people using, like, headphones or something, which I guess, like, plays...
What a primitive way to brainwash people.
And he's like, come one, come all, you know, buy some headphones, girls, or something. Or I'll give them to you for free, or something. And Jenny takes one, like a dumb bitch. She takes one, and her friend doesn't. And Jenny's immediately brainwashed and, like... Oh, no, they both take one, but hers don't work. But Jenny's does, and she's brainwashed and, like, walks away. And it's like, I think the music that she's listening to is like leading her to the Mad Hatter's like secret lair.
Sure, yeah.
Or something.
So Jenny just doesn't notice that her friend's gone?
No, she does. What happens is like she starts walking away, and she thinks that she's upset that she's like, you like Dick Grayson or something.
Okay.
So she's like, whatever, and she just leaves. You get to
imagine like walking with your friend, and then you just put on a pair of headphones
and walk away. That's horrible.
That's so rude.
It is so rude. So Bruce and Dick go to like a cocktail gala or something, which is kind of cool. You get to see like little Dick Grayson, in like tuxedo, and he's like, I don't want to be here. I want to go out and be Batman and Robin. And Bruce is like, we should leave. Like, this place sucks. And him and Bruce go and be Batman and Robin, fight crime, and they meet up with Jim Gordon. And Jim Gordon is like, okay, so there's these girls that are going missing. Also, Batman, I notice you have a sidekick. So this is pretty early in Batman having Robin. And Jim is like, how old is this child? And Batman's like, yeah, he's 12.
Oh, boy.
And Jim is like, okay, Batman, we're friends.
You can't have a 12-year-old.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, Batman, we're friends. You know that. We're chums. But if anything happens to that kid, if he dies or anything, I'm coming for you. Like, what we have, our friendship is over if anything bad happens to that boy. I'm a cop, and I have to be a cop first and care about the citizens of the city. And I trust what you do, but putting a kid in harm is, like, pretty shitty.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I respect Gordon for that.
And Jim is also probably thinking, like, I have a daughter. If I ever found out she put on a costume, that'd drive me crazy. Yeah, that girl. And, you get to see, like, Batman and Robin kick ass. They defeat Mad Hatter. I think Batman's like, Dick, maybe you shouldn't, like, be Robin for a little while. And Dick's like, fuck that. And immediately just goes out and defeats Mad Hatter alone. And, Bruce is, like, pretty proud of him. And so is Alfred. And Alfred's like, maybe he can hold his own. Maybe he's not, like... Well, I know he's not a stupid kid, but maybe he can really handle it. So... There's a bunch of villains, like, in this. And it's a 4-issue miniseries where... Oh, here's, like, the girls that Mad Hatter's brainwashed are, like... He's using them to attack Robin.
Okay.
So this is a 4-issue miniseries where you get to see, like, Robin deal with certain Batman villains, like Mad Hatter, Killer Moth. You know Killer Moth?
I vaguely from the Lego game.
Ah, perfect. Batman and Robin are chasing Killer Moth in the Mothmobile. He has the Mothmobile, and he's...
Wait, can he fly?
So he's in the Mothmobile.
Okay, maybe he can't fly very fast.
Maybe.
Is he attracted to lights?
I don't know. Okay. He's just a guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just took on the Moth just because.
Yeah. And Batman and Robin quickly take care of him. Okay. Because he's a moth. Exactly. Yeah. Meanwhile, Two-Face.
Bats and robins eat moths.
It's the food chain.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, Two-Face is, he learns of Robin. And he's like, I don't like Batman. And I definitely don't like the fact that he has another one of him. Mm-hmm. I don't like that there's another one. So, go figure it out. Like, that's what he tells to his, like, goons. Or okay. And you get to see Robin take care of this character, Blockbuster. He's, like, this big idiot. Okay. He's kind of like the Hulk, I guess, but not green. He was actually on the original Suicide Squad. He was the member that died. Yeah. Okay.
He's okay.
And Batman,
does he like have a normal state and he turns strong, or is he?
I think he's just always big.
Okay.
And so Robin defeats him, and Batman's like, "Wow, like you defeated Blockbuster on your own." And Robin's like, "Well, it is Blockbuster, So you get to see like Dick is becoming a little self-confident, a little cocky in like his abilities. Yeah. But he does end up going out with that Jenny girl. So, and...
She never got kidnapped.
She did, but he saved her.
Oh.
From the Mad
Hatter. I thought the headphones didn't work.
No, Jenny was the one that did get kidnapped. Her friends didn't work.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, Robin saves all the girls that get kidnapped.
Yeah.
And Jenny included. and they go like ice skating or rollerblading or something for like their first date. And of course they're about to smooch, and then the bat signal goes off, or it shines in the sky, and Robin's like, "Oh God."
You and don't at this have time point, for a quick smooch.
I know. At this point, they're so close. Like, just kiss her,
it's
man.
It's like half a second.
Yeah. Just and then run away. Bye. Which also might be worse.
Yeah, but he's a bull. He's like a kid.
Like, it's Batman. Batman can handle whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And so Robin's all like, "Man, like I wanted to kiss that girl, and like this is all getting in my way." You know, maybe being Robin is not cool.
Was right.
Maybe Alfred was right. So meanwhile, Two-Face kidnapped
There's a lot of kidnapping in this book.
It's all kidnapping, man. Two-Face kidnaps a corrupt politician or another corrupt lawyer.
Oh, so who cares?
Exactly. And you get some flashback to Two-Face's origin.
Yeah.
Where Maroni, splashes acid in him.
Sure.
And he's not like, he's like gross looking. Like he's blue.
He's not like skeletal. He's
no.
Like, isn't he usually like red?
Yeah, this is what he looks like in the animated series, actually. He's like blue. Okay. Which I kind of like. It's like
his skin is like
eroded.
Rotten. Yeah.
It's really, really something.
Like
it's cool.
Half a zombie.
Yeah. And Batman and Robin take care of him. But Robin gets like taken by Two-Face. Or not taken, but overpowered by Two-Face. And gets like the shit kicked out of him.
Okay.
Also, so Two-Face ends up kidnapping the corrupt guy and Batman. And it's up to Robin, heads or tails, who's gonna die, Batman or the guy?
So it's like Saw?
Oh yeah. Two-Face is like, I'm gonna kill, one of them is gonna die.
Yeah.
And Two-Face is like, heads or tails, they're gonna, like, heads for Batman, tails for the other guy.
Yeah.
Who gets hung or hanged. And it lands on the guy. Or it lands on, so like the guy is safe or something from being hanged.
Okay.
And
is
then
it hanged or dropped into water?
So that's the thing.
Okay,
he's like, he's safe from being hanged. And then Two-Face is like, but... and then he opens a trap door and the guy falls through.
So he was going to die
So he's going to die either way. And Two-Face just cheated and then beats the shit out of Robin.
Oh.
With like a baseball bat.
Oh, God. He's bleeding. Oh no.
Yeah. And Batman breaks out of the noose and everything.
Batman's like, Jim's going to kill me.
Yeah. And it's like, it's really horrifying. Because first of all, Batman kicks the shit out of Two-Face, brings Robin to Alfred, and Robin, he's like,
look good.
Yeah, Batman's like, Alfred, like, Robin's dying. And then Robin dies.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
In year one?
In year one. You didn't make it very
It's like his first week.
Yeah, he freaking dies.
The bat signal is so wavy.
It is very and maybe that's the clouds.
Maybe.
It might not just be that.
The same clouds every time.
I don't know, man.
Sure. Whatever.
So Two-Face gets taken in by the cops.
Yeah.
And Gordon is like, who did you beat with this bat? And freaking Two-Face is like, I killed Robin. And Gordon's like, oh!
So that actually does happen. Okay.
And Gordon's like, the one thing I told Batman not to do was let Robin die.
Yeah.
So now he's like, I'm going to murder Batman. At no point does Jim go on a full assault against Batman. He's just like very upset at him. So Bruce brings Robin to Alfred, and Alfred's like a surgeon. Right, Alfred's everything. Okay. He's a surgeon, a doctor, whatever. And he's...
Is he like a military surgeon or something?
Yeah, he was like a field medic.
Okay.
And so Robin gets like patched up and everything. He's having like horrible nightmares, and even he is like, maybe I shouldn't be Robin. Maybe this was a bad idea. And at the same time, Bruce is like, yeah, you're fired. Like, you're not Robin anymore. You can still live here. I'm not going to kick you out of the house.
Yeah.
But from now on, you are a little boy. You are not going to, fight crime. And Robin's like, maybe this is for the better, but like I still want to help people. And you get to see Alfred, and Alfred's like, he's like bittersweetly happy that like he's not in danger anymore.
Yeah.
But Dick is like, I don't know what else to do. Like I can't just be a normal boy. Like my life is so not normal I can't go back to it. Meanwhile, Mr. Freeze shows up. And Mr. Freeze has, like, you know, his own schemes going on.
Sure.
Now, they do show Mr. Freeze in his classic Mr. Freeze outfit, which is very ridiculous, but I dig it for this.
It looks like not Freeze related at all.
No.
What's with the color scheme? It's like Christmas.
Back then...
Wait, I get it.
Yeah, the holidays are actually coming up.
Yeah.
So Mr. Freeze is gonna, you know, freeze Gotham, I guess.
Sure.
Do you know what do you know about Mr. Freeze?
I know.
Oh, from the Batman and Robin movie.
Yeah, I know a lot about him.
His
wife is frozen, and he wants to unfreeze her, maybe.
Yeah. Because she has a disease.
He doesn't know how.
Yeah.
So he just keeps her in like a tank and like.
Yeah, he wants to
looks at her.
Yeah, he wants to cure her disease, but doesn't know how. So he freezes her until he can figure it out. Because he is very intelligent, but he just can't figure it out, I guess.
Sure. Is there a cure somewhere?
Eventually, I think she is cured. And
so does he like give up? He stops being Mr. Ice.
So Mr. Ice.
Mr. Icy.
I think sometimes what happens is she gets unfrozen, and then she's like, "Oh, you're a monster," and then she doesn't love him. And Mr. Freeze is like, "Ah!"
He's like, "Well, new motivation."
Yeah, now I'm just evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like Mr. Freeze. I like that he's in this book, even though it's kind of out of left field.
I like that his speech bubbles are like frozen.
Icy.
Yeah.
And he's like, he kind of asks for like a ransom for Gotham. He's like, "Give me money, or I'm going to freeze Gotham." And I guess it's money so he could fund like curing his wife or something. Like, pay for better medicine. I don't know. They don't really get into that. But what's really important is Robin decides to, you know, be Robin, even though he's all broken and shit. He doesn't have the Robin costume, but he's like, I need to help. Like, I need to be Robin. So he just puts on a hoodie and the mask. And previously, Batman talked to Gordon. And Gordon was like, is Robin dead? Two-Face said he was dead.
Yeah.
And Batman's like, he's not dead. He's alive, and he won't be Robin ever again. And Jim is like, you better not be lying. So then Robin single-handedly takes down Mr. Freeze and his goons.
Wow.
I know, Robin really proves himself in this book. I think he just like turns up the heat. Or something.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Does he ever say like ice puns?
He says a few, but none of them are really ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the cops roll up, and Jim Gordon is there. And Jim is like pointing a gun at Robin. And Robin's like, he doesn't see his face. He just sees like a kid in a hoodie from behind. And Jim's like, don't worry, it's me, Robin. I'm okay. But this is the last time I'm going to be Robin. And Jim is like, okay, I guess I won't kill Batman.
Yeah.
And so Batman learns of all this. Jim tells him about it. Batman gets back to the Batcave. And I find it's cool that the Robin costume's hung up right here. Because later when the second Robin dies, they hang up the costume like a monument for him. So Batman gets home, and Alfred's like, Master Bruce, young Dick Grayson left a note. And he's left. So Dick he doesn't want to stay at Wayne Manor anymore. He's like, I can't be Robin. I need to find out what else to do with myself.
Sure.
But he finds out that Two-Face has broken out of prison. So he's like, all right. Now
I was going to say, there's no way he actually gave up being Robin, because there's like half the book still to go.
Yeah, well, I mean, half of this is Batgirl.
Oh, yeah.
So there's only like one more issue.
Oh, okay.
And the last issue is pretty simple. So you know the League of Assassins? Ra's al Ghul's ninjas.
Yeah.
They actually end up finding Robin and train him. So Robin, and it's not Ra's al Ghul, but it's this guy. I don't remember his name. And he's like
a freaky beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like gonna train Robin. He has like a bunch of kids that he's training to be the next.
Okay.
Yeah. He has a bunch of little kid ninjas.
Yeah, sure.
Here's the Joker. He's here for a minute. Batman's talking to him.
He looks good. He looks healthy.
He does.
He's in like rehab.
He's in Arkham.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Robin's training with the League of Assassin kids, and the guy, the leader, is like, all right, we're going to go kill Two-Face. And Robin's like, I don't know if I could kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dick actually ends up getting kind of close to killing him. I think he's like gonna shoot him.
Wait, they have guns?
Like he steals Two-Face's gun.
Okay.
And
why did they want to kill Two-Face?
Because the whole thing with Ra's al Ghul is they're like, Ra's al Ghul was he was born 1 million years ago, right? Yeah. And he uses the Lazarus Pit. It's kind of like the fountain of youth. So he's seen like how terrible the world has gotten, and he wants to bring the world back to like a better time.
Okay.
Very, whatever. So their plan is like, we're going to kill all the bad guys, but we're just going to start with Two-Face because he's on the loose. And Robin gets very close to actually killing him, and he's like, okay, this is not what Robin would do. Because he's not wearing the costume, he's wearing like a ninja suit, and he's like, I've fallen from like what I used to be. They also do kill dogs. Two-Face has 2 dogs. And
but they're like bad dogs.
But they're like Rottweilers or something. And they have to sneak into Two-Face's house. Robin doesn't kill them. He like lures them away with a whistle, and then one of the other little ninja boys kills him. And Robin's like, "What are you doing? Why'd you do that?"
So these other ninja kids,
they're into killing. They're like ready to do it.
They're just like locked and loaded. Yeah,
pretty much. They're into it. They're into murder. But Robin's not, and eventually Robin does return back to the Batcave and is like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, Alfred. I don't want to. I want to be Robin. I want to help people, but I shouldn't be Robin. And now I'm involved with ninjas. Yeah. And it's a really bad place for me right now.
That happens.
And Batman shows up before Dick is about to kill Two-Face, or is about to kill the guy who trained him. And Two-Face gets away. There's like a Two-Face. The ninjas go to Two-Face's lair, where also Batman shows up. So it's a big, confrontation with everybody in the book.
But he doesn't know that Robin's there.
No, Two-Face doesn't know Robin's a part of the team.
I mean, Batman.
No.
Yeah.
And eventually he does find out. Because, you know those legs anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think one of the...
Can you see his legs when he's a ninja?
No. Oh. I think one of the little boys does kill someone. And he is like, stricken with grief. He's like, I don't know if I feel good about... Like, I was all into killing, but I don't know about it now. And Batman, pretty much, they defeat the League of Assassins guy, take back Robin. And Batman's like, I'm proud of you. You didn't kill him. You were the perfect sidekick. You deserve to be Robin, and I'm sorry for pushing you away. I want what's best for you. Yeah. And I don't know if being Robin is what's best for you. And Bruce is like, you need to promise me. Like, I want a good soldier. You've been drafted into a war. He doesn't say that. But he's like, I want a good soldier, so you need to promise me that you will, you'll never kill anyone. You'll follow my orders. Not that I'm going to be like a
drill sergeant.
A drill sergeant.
Yeah.
But, like, I know what's best. Yeah. Just because I've been through this. So, be cool. Be cool like you usually are, Robin.
Yeah. That's like a nice tender side of Bruce.
It is. And the thing is, I love Bruce and Dick Grayson's relationship. Because, to me, it is very father-son. And then the last page of the book is just, like, Robin kicking Two-Face in the face. Like, eventually they catch up with him. Yeah. And they beat him up. Which is awesome. And that's... Oh, actually, it does end with Batman and Robin talking to Gordon. And Gordon is like, good job, Robin, I'm proud of you for, like, being a good sidekick, I guess. You didn't get killed. Batman, I'm happy you didn't kill him. You didn't let him die. And then little Barbara Gordon comes up to the bat signal, and she's like, Dad, are you ready to go home yet? I've been waiting for hours. And Robin looks at her and starts giving her, like, the look. He's like, oh, pretty girl.
I know the look.
Yeah. And Jim Gordon is like, not on your life, bird boy. and then, that's pretty much it. Dick goes home.
Are they, like, the same age?
They are the same age. If anything, a few years in between, but not much.
And then they ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Listening to Coolio.
Yeah. And then Robin just goes home, falls asleep, and Alfred is like, yeah, I got both my boys, Robin and Batman, and they're both here safe, and I couldn't be prouder of both of them, you know? And it's really like a family. Like, this is the start of the Bat family. And I like the inclusion of Barbara at the end, because eventually she will be Batgirl, and she will date Dick Grayson.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
They will... I think he will propose to her, but then that won't happen. They won't get married for some reason.
Why? Just because?
I don't remember.
They just, like, forgot?
Yeah. And then she gets crippled.
And becomes the Oracle.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Oracle.
learning.
Man, good job.
I remembered it.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. So, Bat...
Robin year one.
Robin year one, that's what I meant to say.
I will give this a Kevin Levin out of Ben 10.
Everything is getting that.
Yeah.
It's our only... There's only one thing to say. We don't have, like, 11 different things.
I know. It's always Kevin Levin out of Ben 10. But I actually really did like this one.
That could be, like, a 1 or an 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really did enjoy this. I really like Dick Grayson as Robin.
Yeah.
My favorite Robin is Tim Drake, who's the third one. But I think Dick Grayson is the most important Robin. And probably one of the most important DC superheroes in general.
DC superheroes?
Yes.
Or sidekicks?
Superheroes.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because he is what Batman should be.
Okay.
You know, a more emotionally stable, just as well, you know, with his fighting ability. He's not like as smart as Batman or a great detective, but Batman takes young Dick Grayson in to train him to be what Batman should be, what a real superhero should be. And Batman does that.
So you think it's kind of a way to fix Batman then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, Batman is what Batman wishes he could be, like, what Nightwing is. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not that he wants to be, like, Nightwing.
It's just like a more refined
a more refined, less angry, more like... more adjusted.
More focused and adjusted. Yeah, sure.
Because the thing with Batman is, like, he's very angry. He never had time to really mourn for his losses. And that's, like, the first thing he made sure Dick Grayson got. To make sure that Dick was, like, adjusted and, like, okay in life.
He had to make sure that Dick was adjusted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah. Tim Drake is probably still my favorite one.
Does Tim Drake become, like, a guy later on? Like a man?
Like an adult?
Yeah, does he die or he becomes
an
adult?
He becomes a Red Robin.
Red Robin.
Yum. Yeah.
And he eats bottomless fries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he has wings.
How many bottomless fries... How many baskets of bottomless fries can you eat?
I mean, if they keep coming, I'll keep eating them.